I think it's fine.
All right, we're keeping that in too. Okay, Rsaba podcast number 3. How's it going, guys? Today we have a very special guest from Michigan. What city are you from?
Novi.
Novi. Okay, I should have known that. Novi, Michigan. Veton, Lulanaj. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Veton Lulanaj. I'm 20 years old. I was born here in Michigan, but my origins, my parents are born in Montenegro. That's a country in Europe. Used to be part of Yugoslavia, and they moved here when they were about my age. So that's the basis of it. We'll get to more into
Yeah.
a
Okay.
podcast.
Okay. So we could talk about how we met. So we met through Ace, and most of my viewers know who Ace is. Ace Sad, and you do your own thing in real estate. You're a realtor, a real estate agent down in Michigan. So when did you even get licensed for that?
Um, I started looking into it last year in December, and then I started doing the classes, and it's actually a lot easier to get your license over here in America than it is in Canada. I've heard from Ace's dad, like the process of it. And
Okay.
so it's a 40-hour course, whatever. Did all that, and then it came to the
40
test.
hours?
Yeah, 40-hour course.
That's it?
Yeah,
Oh my god. Okay, anyways, keep going.
yeah. And then you take a test, and it's 126 questions. You got to get 80 of them right. And
Okay.
so the person that actually recommended me was my aunt, and she told me to study the back of the basic book that they give you in the class, in which I did. And actually, I've never studied before. In high school, I was always the cheating type, so I cheated on everything, you know? And
Okay, yeah.
so it came to study. I had to learn how to study, in which I did. I busted my ass off, and 664 questions. That's what I had to memorize, and I did. And I went to go take the test, and a quarter of the questions that were on the test wasn't in the back of the book. And yeah, I kind of screwed myself, and I actually ended up failing the test, and I was like, what the hell? I was so surprised.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to a bunch of other people, and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't have studied the back of the book. Like, I don't know who gave you that advice and whatever. You should have bought the prep exam. And the prep exam is another thing that they offer. It's $150. And as soon as I bought that, I studied that for 2 weeks, and that's like 1,000 questions. And so I memorized those,
Oh my
and I went
god.
to go take the test, and I actually finished it half an hour earlier and passed it like so easily. Flew through
Really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
know in Canada it's a process, man. Like my one buddy's doing it and it's like a $4,000 course and it's months. It's not 40 hours. That's why I was so shocked when you said 40 hours. I'm like, "Are you serious?" Yeah,
yeah,
that is actually awesome. But
yeah.
so how long have you been licensed for?
I've been licensed since March. That's when it was.
March this year. So only a couple months, right?
Yeah, and
And I'm and
it was
this is
December. That's when I started doing the class and when I took the test. But then I took some time off because in real estate, when you start off like that in a month, like, or your first month or two, you're not making that much money, you know.
no, 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 no.
And
Your
so
name's not even out there yet.
yeah, exactly. And so
Yeah.
I had to have some money, and so I went to work with my dad, who I was already working with for like since I was 15 years old. He has a
And what
painting
did you do
company.
there? Paint?
Painting
Okay.
company.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
Nice.
yeah, 5 years there, did my time there, and got sick of it, wanted to do some real estate. But yeah, that's where that time gap was in between December and March.
So you didn't do any post-secondary education?
No.
Nice, dude. Nice. I love it. I love when people tell me that because it's like a lot of people just do it because it's like the normal thing to do, and that's not even what they wanted to do, right?
Yeah, I'm not
People
that
just
guy.
yeah, good. You don't follow the crowd, right? I
Hmm.
know that for other reasons, and I'm not going to talk about that in this video. But I should have talked to you about it before, and I'll talk to you about it after. But that doesn't matter right now. So, you've been a realtor for 2 months. You've been on the market. Veton Lulanai is on the market to sell homes. Have you sold anything yet, or are you like in the process of selling any properties right now?
Well, actually, so I got my license in March, and then my money actually ended up being way too tight. And okay, so we had a meeting. We've talked before, Richard, when we started meeting each other and whatever. And you brought up the car thing, where you said save the money on the car. You don't have to get the nicest car and whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. Yeah.
actually ended up buying a V8 BMW for real estate.
was okay. You know what? That is an investment
Right.
because now your prospects or your clients are like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. They don't know you're 20 years old. They don't know what you probably financed the thing, right?
No, you see, it was actually my first car and ended up having some problems. I got in high school, ended up having some problems, and then my uncle took it from me, kind of like bought it back in a way. And then he held it. We put a bunch of money into it, like together, and I drove it a little bit. He drove it more than me because he put more money. And then I actually ended up buying it back from him. But it's a badass car. It sounds good now. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
like an M5 almost. Like people love
yeah.
it, you
But
know?
so you heard what I said because that was in a budgeting presentation I had with you. Do you regret it? Like, if you could go back, would you buy it again?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Do you think, and is that in terms of like, oh, I just love driving it so much, or is that in terms of like, this will make me more money? Or is it like both?
It's kind of like both. I feel like a boss driving it. A lot. My
Yeah.
previous car was a Chevy Impala 2008. That thing is not the sexiest car.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
So
Yeah.
when I was driving that thing, I kind of felt like, like I'm kind of just giving it, I'm like treating it like a baby. Like she's not that bad, you know? Like
Hmm.
she drives me A to B. That's all that matters. That's
Yeah.
fucking bullshit. When you're doing real
Yeah.
estate, you need a boss car if you want to make boss moves. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So I know a realtor. I'm not going to say his name. He takes the actual opposite. So is Novi a city or is it a town?
It's a city.
Okay, so that approach I agree with in a city life because there's more middle class people. There's more, people with more money that are buying like $1 million homes. And if you're selling them a home, they want to see you wearing a suit, driving a nice car. Here in the town life, there's more like lower class, people that don't like making $100,000 a year here is like really good, right?
Hmm.
So he takes the approach of driving a lower end car, wearing lower end clothes, and like humbling himself in front of his prospects so they feel more comfortable around him, right?
Right.
And I think you need to have a good balance of both. If you're gonna do the approach that you take, you can't be cocky. You can't be around there like, oh, you gotta listen to me. Like I'm rich. I'm driving this BMW. I'm sure you take the approach of like the humble approach. At least I hope you
Of
do.
course.
You have to,
Listen,
right?
Richard, I grew up with the family not wealthy at all. Like
Okay.
up
Yeah.
to up to where I graduated high school, like it was not easy. Like I was wearing the same clothes every week.
Okay.
That's the type of shit it was. That car, that BMW, it was my first car, but my parents didn't buy it for me. They
Hmm.
helped me out a little bit, but I was 15 years old putting in work every day after school. Like I would be sometimes I've had days in high school where I left school or didn't go to school at all just so I can go to work.
Okay. Wow.
That's yeah, that's what it was
Dude,
like for me.
dude, school, like I tell people college is a waste of time. If you know what you want to do, college is not a waste of time. But man, let me tell you, high school is a waste of fucking time. Like
Yeah.
high school, you are just spending your time, dude. I don't remember a thing I learned in high school. If I could spend all that time working, I'd have so much more money. You know what I mean? So good shit. Like I have one friend, his name's Parker. I'm sure he won't mind me saying his name because I want him in a podcast in the future. And he had like hundreds of sick days a year because he would just skip and go work his full time job. Because like, fuck high school, man. So I
Yeah.
respect that grind. I respect the
Appreciate
shit
it,
out of
bro.
that. Yeah, no. And that you were working at your father's paint company, right?
Yeah, it was my first and only job before real estate. I stayed loyal with them.
So when did you decide, okay, real estate's my thing?
Well, my aunt, she used to live in Florida, and after 1 year after high school, she moved back to Michigan, and she found this place called the Mark Z, Realtor Group, and they're right there in Novi, actually, where I went to high school and used to live at. And now I live in Farmington Hills, which is 15 minutes away, another city. No big deal. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the office. And she started working there. And in her first year, she was posting all her numbers and statistics. And everyone at the office does this. So they can see that, there's proof there. The proof is there, how great they're doing. Like a lot of realtors, like they'll say, like, we're one of the best and whatever. How that's like when they sell themselves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's what they do. They sell. Yeah.
Yeah, and not many people really post like their job and the work that they do. But my
Yeah.
at Mark Z's place, they really stress that every single week or every single month, 2 times a month, we have a team meeting and we go through all the numbers and everything, how many like millions of dollars that our whole team has sold and everything, and who's the top agents and everything. So this was my aunt's first year, and she was getting up there real quick, and she grew real fast. Her first year, I don't think she minds me saying she made something like over 100K just in her first year.
Oh wow, commission.
Yeah, and it
So
wasn't
she
even a
she sold
full
millions.
365. Yeah,
Yeah. She sold
yeah.
wow. Wow. Okay. And what is it about your aunt that made her so persuasive?
Um, well, I just saw her numbers and I was like, listen, this painting shit, I'm good at it, all right? And I know I can make this into my own business and make it bigger because I got that businessman mindset, you know? But
100%.
my
Entrepreneur
father,
mindset.
he really doesn't. He kind of likes it, the small business. He doesn't really want to expand. And to be honest,
100%.
I had to leave, you know. I wanted to do more than that. I had bigger dreams than he did. So,
Good.
and then I saw real
Good.
estate and I saw the opportunity there, and so I had to join there.
So is your aunt kind of like your mentor?
Actually, they won't let her just because we're related.
But like meant like on the side, you like if you need advice, you'll call her, be like, yeah,
Of
okay,
course.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, 100%. That's awesome, dude. So really, and is this your aunt, like your dad's sister?
right.
Wow. Okay, and your dad does not have any plans, because my dad's kind of the same way. He has a restaurant that is very successful, and I tell him all the time, like, why don't we expand this? Why don't we open another building, hire some more uh, staff, and then get this going? But they don't have that business mindset. It's the small business mindset, just make enough to
Exactly.
get by and some. It's the middle class mindset. Sadly, that's most people, right? And there's
Yeah,
nothing we can really do about it. But what are you gonna
yeah.
do? What and that's so I know you wanted to touch on this on the podcast. It's like, what do you value? What are your morals? And that's like another thing. I always stress upper class. Aim for the stars, get rich. But it's like, why do you and I even want to do this? Like, what is your reasoning for wanting this wealth and this success? Like, what is your why?
You know what? I always, I get asked this question actually a lot, by like close
Mhm.
people who really know me, and they ask me like, "Why are you the way like this?" And Novi, I don't know if you know much about that location, but there's a lot of money there. It's one of the nicest cities in Michigan, one of the top
Yeah.
schools in Michigan, actually in the whole country. And everybody in my grade, like driving nice cars, nice clothes, like fat houses, dude, $1 million houses. Like,
Yeah.
of course, there's even the lower class of Novi High School, like it wasn't that bad, like they were
They'd
still
probably
doing
make me,
pretty
yeah,
well.
they'd probably make us look poor over here in Leamington. Yeah.
I mean,
No,
even me
100%.
too, And I was like, I
Yeah.
saw this shit, and I was like, I'm wearing the same clothes almost every day, just mixing, matching like that. And they're driving nice cars, and I'm out here like I need this, like I
hmm
don't want to live like this, I want stuff for myself, and I wasn't
Yeah.
about to wait for anybody to do it, and so that really just pushed me, and like I'll even say it, man, like I haven't really talked about this about to anybody, but like even like grocery shopping and like food or like just having things my family or my siblings wanted, like we couldn't have, just because the income wasn't
Wow.
there and there was a lot of us. Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
really tough
No,
growing up. Yeah.
no, and that's the thing is that's a lot more common than people think. And I tell people like, if you had food on the table every day growing up, do not take that for granted because a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people,
Yeah.
they were struggling for food, even that live in the U.S. and Canada, right? And that's
Hmm.
and the reason I ask that question, what is your why, is because my current technical analysis mentor, I'm really into stocks. I'm sure you know that.
Hmm.
And I like trading them. And the guy that's teaching me about technical analysis, he's teaching me about God and faith. And he's like, I know you're rich and I know you want to be rich and or like I know you whatever. But he's like, well, you got to determine your why. Like, what is the reason you're doing this? Make sure it's a deeper reason than like, oh, I just want to be rich to gain a lot of money and whatnot. Like he does it with the God as his purpose. And if you don't want to get too religious, I know you wanted to touch on this too. Like, what is your standpoint on religion?
Well, my mom, she's actually a covered woman, which means Muslim for whoever doesn't know, whoever watches this. And same
Really?
with my father. Yeah, he's a Muslim too.
And were they like that when you were born, or they converted?
No, they were like that when I was born, and when they were born too. Yeah,
So, wait, what is your heritage again?
I'm
It's
Albanian.
Slovak. Okay, and is there a lot of Islam there?
Yeah, there is. I would say it's like
I didn't know that.
70-30.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 60-40, somewhere around there. Yeah, but Muslims are above
Okay,
in
because like this is gonna
population.
sound messed up, but I thought like all Muslims were just like the Middle East predominantly, and because
Mm-mm.
I'm Middle Eastern and I'm Middle Eastern Catholic, but that doesn't matter. But like, okay, so what is like? Okay, so I'm actually intrigued by this. So you guys believe Jesus Christ was a prophet, correct?
Yes.
Are you educated on the Islam faith so we can talk about this?
Yeah, about the basic stuff. Yeah.
And Muhammad is like your son of God, right?
No, he's another prophet. That is, yeah, he's a prophet.
Okay. But he's held in a higher standard than Jesus Christ, correct?
Um, no. See, this is
Really?
what we see. Yeah, we see God, whatever you can picture it, not a person, more of a thing, And everyone has their own like deception of God, They see it differently. They believe it in a different way, It's just
Hmm.
depends on the person. And that's a really deep topic, like that's a lot to talk about however you see it. But everything under God, they're just prophets, and then under prophets, it's just us regular people. That's about really how it is.
Bro. The thing is, this mentor I talk about, that's like kind of what I try to tell him. I'm not like saying I'm converting to Islam because I have trouble with this, and that's my kind of like my problem is when we call God a he, like he's watching you or he's, and it's like no, dude, he's a or I just did it, but like he's a thing, right? Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it's like an entity. There's no
Exactly.
time
And
or
you said
space.
the exact right word. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a he. Like people imagine a man in the sky, and it's like no, that's not what it is. And that's why I have trouble with son of God, right? Like how can you be the son of an entity? You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
who knows? And that does make sense. And I would have to look more into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most people, except for atheists, can somewhat agree that there's a higher power there. And I've been noticing his presence a lot more the past 3 4 months. I've been getting blessings left and right, man. Like, yo, I'm gonna bless you with this. I'm gonna bless you with this. And I don't know if it's because I'm more aware of it now. Like, holy shit, you too, man. Like, we are so blessed. You know what I'm saying. You
Mm-hmm.
have blessings left and right, man. So you got to
Yeah.
be thankful. There is a God. I want to tell people it's a higher power, and like you said, it gets deep, and everyone has a different like perspective.
Perception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perception.
Perspective.
Yeah, 100%. That's the way I look at it. So you're Islam, right?
Right.
Wow, that is that is not what I thought. I thought you were a Christian, but that's see, like we're learning new things every day, right? I'm learning. I barely knew you before this podcast. I already know
Yeah.
you a ton more than I did, so that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah.
Would you
So
say that you're religious now? Like getting a lot more religious in these past few months?
I have a look, man. Like I think there's a difference between religion and faith, right? I have
Okay.
faith. I hate the word religion because, like, I think it causes so much separation, and it like some people, like if you took two random people off the street and they were in this podcast and they didn't know you were Islam, they might be like offended, and like they
Mm-hmm.
get they get all like, oh, why don't you believe what I believe? And it's like, dude, I don't really care. I think God is way beyond our understanding, to be honest. I think believing in these religions is just kind of pointless. Like, why don't we just accept, like, yo, we don't know shit? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why are we fighting over this shit? We don't really know anything. Like, there's so many wars and shit over religion. It's like, bro, what are y'all fighting over? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, you're
Yeah.
fighting over something we don't know. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. Like,
I like how you said that
um,
though, like
I have
faith
my
and then
past experience.
go ahead.
Oh, they are, man. They are. No, because I've had my past experiences with things, and I have a, I don't want to say it, but like I have a deeper understanding than most people realize of the spiritual world, right? And
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, I want you to elaborate on what you were just gonna say. So go ahead.
I liked it when you said faith and religious, Those are two very different things. So I'll explain like this. My mom, she's covered. She prays 5 times a day. She wakes up at 5 a.m. and before she goes to sleep, she prays too. And in between, there's the other three. And she's always preaching to me like how I got to start praying, get on your knees. There's a whole ritual kind of thing that we do. We face northeast and then we bow down on our knees, say our verses, and that's how it works for Islam. And to me, like, I feel like I'm personally close to God, Like, I'll have times where I'm just driving in the car and I'll just start thinking about stuff, and then it'll almost like make my eyes water. Like, just feeling
Yeah.
like I'm
Hmm.
blessed. I'm not anywhere near at the point I want to be in my life, but like, still, everything else that happens, like, whether it's somebody leaving from your life and making it better for you and like doing, like, because my ex-girlfriend, right?
Hmm.
Wow, yeah, this is kind of weird topic, but when she broke up
It's
with me,
okay. She won't see it, bro.
yeah, but when we broke up, I don't know, like it was, I've never had that. It felt like somebody died. It's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
real
I know.
long relationship, and I was like, whoa, like what the fuck? Super
Yeah.
confused, and that shit kind of just turned me into a beast right after that. Because I
Fuck yeah,
honestly,
dude. No, but
and
you
I
know
never
what?
knew what.
Um, this is where like I try to tell people everything happens for a reason, and like that's like the exact way I look at God. Like, hey, this is all happening for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're faced with adversity and bad shit happens, like you and your ex girlfriend breaking up, it only makes you better, man. Like, bad shit's gonna happen in life. If there was no bad shit, you wouldn't even know good shit existed, right? Because you
Exactly.
need bad shit to have good shit. Exactly. So if and you value the good shit more when bad shit happens. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if good shit was the only thing that happened, you wouldn't. You'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You need like bad shit makes you better, man. So like we said, you're in the car, your eyes get watery. I mean my eyes don't get watery, but like I know what you mean. Like you're like, damn, I'm blessed and I'm gonna get way higher than this. And I
Mm-hmm.
promise you, man, God has a plan for you. He does.
It's just the thing that makes my eyes water sometimes. It's really occasional, but it's just I feel that love, inside of my soul.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
100%. A hundred
Yeah,
percent. It could like, dude, you could have been a fucking zebra in Africa, but instead you're a
yeah,
human who lives in a first world country. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We're so lucky. We're so lucky. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
I said earlier, you're lucky if you get food on the table, bro. If you're a human, point blank, period, you're lucky. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And
That's it.
especially if we're healthy, people sleep on that shit all the time, dude.
I know, because like so many people wait, or they're born just with health problems, and it's like that's just with you for life, man. Especially if it's like mental disorders or whatnot. Like that's not, or even your kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on kids, by the way? Like you have the goals like I do, right? And the way I look at kids is like, okay, a lot of people have kids because they need a reason to live. They've settled, they got their job, they're married, and it's like, hey, what am I living for now? I go to work and I sleep. Okay, so they have kids. I don't want to have kids. I have goals, and I feel like if I get emotionally attached to a kid, it's only gonna be like an This sounds so messed up, but like it's gonna be like an inconvenience towards that goal.
Hmm.
And you, so what do you think about that? Like, do you plan on having kids in the future, getting married, living like that? Like, obviously, maybe I want to have kids, but I want to be set. Like, okay, I have a company set up. This so I'm getting closer to my goal. I have people outsourcing, like doing all the work for me. Then maybe I'll think about it. But right now, I have so much work to do. I can't see myself having kids anytime soon.
And that's just right now, like that might change later on because who knows?
100%.
It doesn't take a big thing to like change your mind.
Oh, 100%. Dude, listen, bro. We're
Yeah.
both on this journey towards our dreams. And
Hmm.
10 years from now, we're still going to be on that journey. But we're like, our goals and our desires are going to be like vastly different, right?
Right.
Because we're going to be completely different people. We're going to change so much. Especially you and I were getting into sales, man. You know how many people we're going to encounter in the next 10 years? Dude, I went door to door today and
Hmm.
I spent half an hour talking to a guy about literally it had nothing to do with what I was trying to sell. It was like I seen he had a Marcus Aurelius book in his hand. Do you know who Marcus Aurelius is?
I actually don't.
He's like that ancient emperor. He like kind of um founded, I guess, Stoicism. Do you know what Stoicism is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's like a philosophy. Either way, it's like a way of thinking. Like you kind of have it yourself. You just don't even know. But either way, um, and I'm like, yo, what is that book, Marcus Aurelius? I'm interested. And yeah, dude, half an hour. I learned so much from this guy, man. And this is just the benefit of being in sales. You're in sales too, right? So you get off
Hmm.
topic, which you shouldn't do realistically. If you're trying to sell a house, don't sit there and talk about stoicism for half an hour because you know what I mean. But yeah, man, you're gonna change a lot in the next 10 years. I am too. I'm a year younger than you, so take what I say with a grain of salt.
How old are you, Richard?
19.
Oh, damn. I
Yeah,
swear I thought you
I'm.
were Ace's age.
No, dude, I thought you were Ace's age. I'm like, oh, dude, this is Ace's friend. He's like 23. And then you said
Mm-mm.
20. I'm like, so are you born in 2002 or 2001?
Oh, one. My birthday's day before Halloween,
Oh,
which is
okay.
October 30 or October 31st here is Halloween. You guys do Halloween
Yeah,
too,
it
right
is.
over
It
there?
is. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I'm actually 2003. My
Mm.
birthday was in April, so that's what. So I'm actually 2 years younger than you. We're like a year and a half, but
Mm.
either way, dude, yeah. 2001. Ace. Most of his friends around here are born in 2001, anyways. So right.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have him on one of these podcasts. He's such a good speaker. It's unbelievable. I tell him all this, and like, he's one of those guys I want to like put out 3, 4, 5 podcasts, have him watch them, see my style of interviewing, so we can make it like the best possible interview. I want to do the same with
Mhm.
everyone. Like this is not going to be the first time I want to have you on a podcast because we can do it so much better for the next time. I get more viewers, get more subscribers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. This is my first time doing this. I've never even really had this conversation, with people. Like, whenever I talk about life or anything like this, it'll be so occasional. It'll be like once or twice a year. Just it doesn't happen with people our age. And if it
You
does,
know
it's people
why?
with like A's or us.
You know why? Because if you go out there and say like, you tell someone like the average person born in 2001, that whole story you told me about your aunt and the real estate course. First of all, they're gonna zone out halfway through because it's not about them, and people only care about themselves.
Hmm.
And then they're just gonna, if they do listen, they're gonna reflect with a story about themselves. Like I said, they only care about themselves. That's just how it works now,
So
man.
facts.
Yeah, people don't like you can't hold a good This is why I wanted to do a podcast because I'm like, dude, I'm good at talking to people, so I'm gonna do a podcast.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if you main, I actually did a lot of studying on this. So how to be a good conversationalist. Talk about other people. Like, don't talk about yourself. Like, if you want to, and this is important in sales too. You want to build rapport with. Let's say you're not like you're at the golf course with a real estate investor and you want to build rapport with this guy, don't even talk about Veton Lulanaj. Talk about your client all the time, and he's gonna like you. He's gonna like you more. He's gonna be like, "Okay, I like this guy. I can trust him." You know,
Hmm.
it the art of seduction. Ace is amazing at this. Okay, I, did I talk about? Well, you were in the call. Yeah, you were in the call when I talked about that.
Hmm.
That shit is unreal, man. Like if you can be a source of pleasure to people, like when people are around Vuitton, they feel good. Like I'm getting dopamine in my brain right now. Then they'll
Hmm.
trust you more, and they'll buy homes from you. That's what my sales mentor told me. He said, "Act like a friend. Don't even think about making a sale. Think about helping them." and then that'll subconsciously relate to them. Boom, you'll be getting sales left and right, and on top of that, you're actually being a good person.
Yeah.
That's all it is, man.
They preach that at my office, make it all about them. People don't want to hear shit about yourself.
A
They
hundred
just want
percent,
everything
dude.
about them.
100%. No, it's just the way it is. Like that's the most bland conversations you have is when it's like, dude, I went to the gym today, and then instead of asking like, yo, what did you do? They'd be like, yeah, I went to the gym too. I did arms, and then they'll be like, oh, I did shoulders. Not even elaborating on like what each other are doing, right? It's just such a
Hmm.
bland conversation. Speaking of which, you work out too, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been working out?
Um, After my breakup, actually, this was last April.
Oh, you're one of those guys, eh?
I'm
I
telling you,
see those.
dude. I'm telling you, Richard, that breakup changed me as a whole person, and I've never had anything change me like that all at one time. I mean, it was over a couple months, and everything, my mindset, and Ace talking to me and everything, but yeah, nothing like that has ever happened to me before.
So
That's honestly, what was
you
that?
think that like all that like I said earlier, all that adversity, all that discomfort, like the you said like it felt like someone died. By the way, are you
Hmm.
are you and her still on good terms or was it a bad breakup?
Um, no, we ended on good, okay terms, but after our last phone call, I never talked to her again, and I still haven't.
Okay,
It's
so
been
it felt
over a
like
year
someone
now.
died. I see what you mean. Yeah, so what I try to tell people is if you constantly live in comfort and like you constantly do things that are comfortable, you're gonna be depressed. But like as soon as you get that discomfort, like you did with that with your girlfriend, and you felt like that much discomfort, it's only up from there, right? And that's why you
Hmm.
turned into a beast. You started working out, doing uncomfortable shit, and then now I guarantee you're happier now than you were before.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
So much more
exactly.
mature too. Now
Yeah,
I know
dude.
what to look for in my next relationship.
Yeah, 100%. You're
Exactly what I
more.
want.
You're exactly. Yeah. Even like I see you have the breeze. Dude, listen,
Mhm.
I'm. It's hard. It's hard to quit that shit, but man, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing,
Yeah.
cause like that shit is also a source of comfort. It's always on you. Like, dude, our parents had cigarettes, and like you would have to go outside, put a cigarette, light it up, and like do the whole action. But like that thing is so fucking portable. It's dangerous.
Hmm.
You know, it's fucked. But yeah, so yeah, quitting that it's hard. But like if you do that, I'm telling you, it'll even get even better. Do you smoke marijuana?
Um, Here, before we get into that topic, so you know how I met Ace, right?
I do not.
I was a freshman, Ace was a senior. And I don't know how it works for you
Okay.
guys in high school, but there's 4 years in high school for us. So I was the first and he was the last. And
Okay.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah, I know.
actually,
So in Canada we'd say you're in grade 9, he's in grade 12.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so that's actually how we met. I don't know if I could say this, but if
I
Ace
know,
would
dude.
want
I
to.
know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at. Don't worry. I got
Okay. Well, that's how we
you.
met. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
Okay. Okay.
Ace, he saw something in me.
So how did
He
you
had.
guys get close though? Because he had so many people that he could have met through that manner. So what made
Mhm.
you and him get close?
Well, it was me and my two other buddies, and we were actually getting close to Ace. He saw something mainly in me, and he saw something else in these two other guys. But these two other guys, over time, they kind of just drifted away, and they weren't what Ace wanted to be or expected to be, in a way.
Okay.
And for me, I stayed in touch with Ace. He saw the way I reacted to the world and my mindset, and he really fucked with it. And so we kept in touch for a minute, and he graduated high school, and I still stayed in touch with him. And I mean, I was a freshman, what, 6 years ago now? So that's how
Yeah.
long our freshman friendship has been.
Nice,
And
dude. Yeah. Dude,
also, when I
that
was a
guy.
freshman, huh?
Keep going. I'll say it later.
When I was a freshman, I only hung out with seniors. I was that type of kid that like I grew up faster than everybody else.
Good
And
shit.
my
Yeah.
common sense and I don't know, I see kids in my high school and their common sense doesn't really like add up to me. The way that they live their life and the decisions that they make. I just could never. I was like the black sheep. People would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know?
Yeah, yeah. But dude,
I'll give you an
that's what
example.
the 1% is. They do shit no one else does. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'll give you an example. So this was my senior year. This was we've never had as many parties senior year as we ever did in the whole high school. I think 1 month we had more parties than we did like in the whole my whole high school like three
Okay.
years, the other 3 years. And everyone was drinking, partying, and I was obviously in the crowd too. I was one of those popular kids. I just happened to fit in right there. I wasn't the type to try either. It just kind of happened, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd be at these parties and whatever, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, like I'm
Yeah.
here with my boys, everyone's like having fun and everything, but like I wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't fun to me. And
Was
so
that like I everyone, not everyone, but most people enjoy parties when they go like once every other week or twice a month, right? Around that. But like I feel like once you're going constantly, like any type of pleasure or source of pleasure, it gets fucking boring, man. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I'm so used to this. And my friends in Leamington, I just turned 19. So we're getting into that. Okay, so legal age in Canada is 19, not 21.
Right.
So just so you know. And
Yep.
we're getting into the whole clubbing life. And they at first, dude, it was on Snapchat everywhere. Everyone's talking about it on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, okay, we're kind of bored of this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But keep going. So I want you to finish.
So parties, they would just bring the laptop, connect some speakers, and they would just shuffle music. You know, I was like, all right, this shit is fucking like I'm bored. I gotta find something else to do. I don't want to leave the party because I drove with people and everything, and I was always the designated driver. I wasn't a drinker. I've never been a drinker. Always never drank. You know, everybody
Okay.
else did. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went to the laptop where they were playing the music off of, and I literally just started playing shit off my phone. You know. And then after that, next party came and people wanted me to DJ the party. And so after that, just kept on doing it. And then eventually I got a notebook and I started writing down bangers, dude.
Okay.
And I swear to God,
Were you getting
every single
paid?
party. No, I wasn't.
Bro, okay, okay, keep going though. Keep going though.
And so at these parties, every time I was a DJ, I swear to God, I've never seen these kids in my high school hornier or more wasted than when I was playing the fucking DJ. I
That's
swear to
fucking
God.
sick. So did it make the parties fun?
Hell yeah. A
Okay,
lot more wilder. People blacking out, throwing up, like crazy shit happening.
really? So
Yeah.
I'm like the few times I have DJ'd because I'm not big on parties. Like I got over it pretty quickly. But like if I go, I'm having a good fucking time. But one thing a DJ has to do, and this is kind of like the whole conversationalist thing. Don't fucking go there and like if you fuck with like Lana Del Rey, like that's what you listen on your free time. Don't fucking play that at a party. You got to play what every single person is gonna enjoy. Don't worry about your own. When you're a DJ, take out all personal bias and worry. Okay, what is everyone gonna like? You got to play Pitbull. You got to play Flo Rida and shit that everyone listens to. And people
Hmm.
they go on the DJ and they start playing NBA YoungBoy, and I'm like, bro, you're the only person that fucks with that shit, right? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. That's the way I look. I'm sure you understood that, considering you were a good DJ, right?
Yeah. I mean, to
so
me,
so
what I don't know. Ace is the same exact thing too. He was the DJ always at his parties, but like we have similar music tastes too, and he'll tell you the same thing. And we would know what part of the song, even if it's 20 seconds long, what part of the song that everybody knows, Like on
okay,
TikTok, it's not the whole song, it's only that one specific verse that just everyone knows it by it.
yeah,
They know what song it is exactly.
like the
And that's
chorus
what I was good
usually.
at. Yeah. What
Yeah,
chorus, whatever specific verse it is or time in that song, I always knew the best part of it, and I would write down the number, start playing the song at this time, and yeah, just like that.
nice, dude. So you had like transitions and shit.
No, see, I started getting into that, and it was a lot of work and a lot of shit to learn, and I don't know, I just never really dedicated my time
Dude,
to it. Once high school
dude.
ended.
Yeah, no, I know, and like I completely understand that, but like, hey man, like TJs can make a lot of fucking money, and I'm sure there's a lot like a much bigger party market in Novi than there is here, so it
Hmm.
it, it would be something to look into. Like, yo, can I work on these? If you already have the knack for it, which it seems like you do, can I work on these transitions? And plus, dude, these like kids my age, not my age, but like a bit younger that are still in high school, have like dimwit brains. Like, not even gonna lie. So like you can make so much money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you know what I mean? But yeah, that's sick. And a lot of people, like my sales mentor told me, like, one of the richest people here, his name's Paul Mastronardi, and he started off as a DJ, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then like I'm like, okay. And then he said a bunch of rich people, like, they just start off as a DJ. I don't know why. So Veton, you got it going. You know what I mean?
that's
DJ
pretty sick, actually.
is the I know. I don't know why. It's like,
Hmm.
if you know how to DJ, you know how to talk to people. And dude, listen, this is what I try to tell people. Like, you're better off, like we said earlier, university or whatever. Like, a lot of people do it just because everyone else is doing it, right? If you're going into university for something you're probably gonna fucking hate, which is like 90% of people that do it, you're better off not going and just learning how to talk to people. You know what I mean? That's why I'm
Yeah.
doing sales. Even if I make a lot of money or not, I'm going door. I just went to like it's like 50 houses, went door to door and talked to people. Each time I go, I'm building my ability to talk to people, and that is the single, like, hands down, the most important skill in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can agree with that, right?
100%, man. Yeah,
It's
a
like,
lot of people. Some people are born with it too. I 100% believe that too. I've got buddies that are born with it, but they don't do anything with it, and I think
mhm.
that they're just wasting an opportunity, you know?
And Ace is like the best person. Like, the I know I've briefly met Tristan. He's insane too. Like, I can already tell, like, holy shit, this guy's a really good speaker. But
Mhm.
Ace is really good. And like, I wanted to say this earlier when you talked about like how Ace seen the potential in you, but he didn't really see it in the other two guys. What I wanted to say was, yo, like, Ace is like, he's like a psychological genius. I tell him that all the time. I'm like, dude, he can like read body language and like how confident this guy is, how confident this guy is, and like the way his brain works when he enters a room. I'm like, dude, that's insane. Like, and he'll tell you
100%,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll tell you that firsthand too. I'm sure you noticed his ability
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
I think Ace noticed the same thing in me, to be honest. And
yeah,
Tristan was one of those guys, just like me and Ace, you know? He picked me up from school. He took care of me, just like, and he was same grade as Ace, too. He was a senior. Those two were the closest guys I was with my senior or my freshman year, like with the seniors in that whole grade, you know?
really
They were one of the most known, too, yeah.
nice, dude. So yeah, so I don't want to move this to myself, but like, I think you and I share the ability that we develop mental maturity at a younger age. I mean, I'm 19,
Yeah.
so I think, people meet me,
You're
they
way
talk to me,
ahead,
they're like,
Richard. Way
"Holy
ahead.
shit!" Pardon? Yeah, I
Yeah.
try. I'm gonna talk to you more about why I think that is. I don't really want to mention it on the podcast, but yeah, there's a shitload of stuff I want to do with the the one blessing that I thank God for the most is this thing right here. Like, he gave me a good one. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, thank you, God, and you too, man. Like, we're all smart guys, and I love it. I love it, and I think everyone, and I mean everyone, is a genius in their own way. They just have to unlock it. Be like, what am I so good at that I can
Mhm.
develop this skill or develop this type of intelligence to the point where I'm a master and like I'm making a stupid amount of money right now. And it's not even about money. It's about I like a question I have. Do you think money buys happiness?
Um, I think it does.
Elaborate, because I'm a firm believer that it doesn't.
Okay. Um, well, I didn't really grow up with money, you know? And so my parents, like, I grew up with them fighting a lot. Like, at the point where I was hanging out with my friends every day, like, until I got my job, just so I didn't have to be home to hear that shit, you know?
Okay.
And it was about money, you know? Either it's food on the table, either it's that place that we're living in, or the car's having problems, whatever it is, you know? Driving with bald tires, my mom had that for like 2 years, straight up shaved. Like, there was no traction at all. And there was nothing to do about it. Like, that shit's
Yeah, there's
expensive.
no money. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So I agree. Listen, I should have asked the question a bit better. So, like the reason there's so much disagreement around the money buys happiness debate is because like you and I view it differently. Okay, I think that a lack of money will make you miserable. But I think
mhm,
like if you're like comfortable and you have a savings and like it's not stressing you out, having more won't do anything for you. Is what I'm
mhm.
trying to say. Does that make sense?
Can you elaborate on that second part where the comfortable?
So like middle class, right? Like you're not like you said like fighting. You're not stressing about it all the time, like living check to check or anything. But you have depression. You have clinical depression. It's most likely not because of money, and more money won't cure that depression. Like look at a guy like Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley. Like these guys had enough. Dude, they could shit out your salary like it's nothing, but they were
Mhm,
still depressed. Like they still had drug problems. They were still sad, and it was something
mhm,
deeper than money. They couldn't just be like, "Hey, I'm just gonna use this $1 million to buy happiness." Fuck no.
mhm.
What did we say earlier? About partying. After a certain while, it got boring, right? Because it's like I'm doing this every day, right? Well,
Right.
well, if you buy a Lamborghini every day, it gets boring. It's like, hey, the first time it might be fun, but then after like 20 new exotic luxury cars, it's like, okay, this is boring. I've gotten used to this. That's the way I look at it, but I wonder if that changes your perspective in any way.
You know what? When you put it like that, like, yeah, a little bit. But then
Yeah.
I was gonna continue and say something else. Like, yeah, that is gonna bring me happiness. When that time does come and I can afford all the things that I've ever imagined to have, that's gonna make me happy. And I know that's not gonna keep me happy.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
But I plan on making more money so I can make more people happy around me.
A
And that,
hundred
when you
percent.
do that, that's infinite.
Yeah. 100. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
There's some Dan Loke. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, but he says there's four different mindsets around money. People that use money to spend. So that was no, don't want to get personal, but that was like your parents. They didn't really have savings. They just money spent right away because they had to.
Facts.
Yeah. Then there's like the middle class who spend and save. And then there's like the upper class who spend, save and invest. And then the like upper echelon people spend, save, invest and donate. Philanthropy and whatnot. Like you said, you want to donate, right? You want to like yo, like dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been going around asking people like, "Yo, what's your dream car?" And I'm writing a list of all these people's dream cars, and I'm determined to buy them that shit one day.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like that brings me joy, man. Like, yo, I can buy you a fucking Lamborghini. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the way you look at it, but that brings me a
You know,
lot of
Richard,
joy.
I actually got a story for you. That
Okay,
Chevy Impala that I had right before my Beamer that I just recently got back, I actually gave it to one of my buddies for free, you
nice,
know?
dude. Yeah, yeah,
And that's
100%.
always something I wanted to do, just give someone a car.
Yeah,
Kind of like David Dobrik. I know you probably know who he
yeah. I
is.
know who he is. I don't watch him, but I know who he is.
Yeah.
And like
I'm
Mr.
always gonna
Beast too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
No,
so when I did that, like it just it made my heart feel good, and I just
yeah,
want more of that. Even
yeah,
donating $20 to someone homeless, I've never done that until this year before, or last
yeah.
year.
And
Like
like
that's a lot.
something horrible happened with one of my coworkers. His wife was having a baby. It was a C-section and something happened. There was complications. She had like a blood clot, stroke, multiple seizures. And like I'm like, dude, that is horrible. Like if you have a stroke, your life is not never gonna be the same. And I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, I felt the need to, and like we want to do donations, and I'm like, I'm gonna donate like $100, dude. Like, I don't. This is deeper than money. I barely even know the guy, but like, it's just so tragic, and like to fulfill my heart, I feel like I need to donate a sizable amount of money that will actually make a difference, right?
Right.
It's weird
There's
giving.
and there's always somebody to give.
Oh my god, yeah.
Too many people in the world, so you never run out.
But in terms of homeless people, it's a bit different for me. I don't. It like I don't think there's.
You don't
I
feel
don't think.
sympathy.
Pardon.
You don't feel sympathy for them.
Not that I don't feel sympathy, because I do, because like it's a lack of money. It makes you miserable. But like I'd have to hear the backstory. Like, why are you homeless?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the reason? And 99, I feel like nine, maybe I could be wrong, but like I feel like 90 to 95% of the time, it's their own fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see why they can't just try and get a job. Like, what's stopping them? You don't need a
Yeah.
fucking, you don't need to go buy a house, bro. You can go rent a place. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
Mm-hmm.
why are you homeless? I really want to know. And a lot of people, the reason they can't work is because they're always fucking drugged out. And it's like, hey, I don't feel bad for you. You need
Yeah.
to quit that shit. I'm not gonna
Those.
give you money
Yeah.
so you can buy fucking heroin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck
Those
that.
ones are on a different level, you know.
Yeah.
And it is like a mindset too, Richard. Like there's homeless people, you know, they want a job and they want to look clean and everything, but what are they doing to actually go for that? Like if I don't know, I've never been homeless. I can never say that from like experience or anything like this, you know. But I would be looking out. I would go try to buy a knife just so I can go shave my face, you know. Try to somewhat clean up, you know.
Yeah.
I
No.
would go to the donations where they what is it called? Where they
The
donate clothes for free and
thrift stores.
yeah, pretty much thrift
Yeah.
stores. Yeah, just look for anything to like look somewhat presentable, you know.
Dude, you know what? That is like that kind of ties with like the whole adversity thing I talked about earlier. Like you went through all that hardship growing up, and you know how much that's gonna help you like in your journey because you know how
Hmm.
it's like. You know what it's like. Who was it? I don't know who said it, but like, so that's kind of why you sympathize with them. So you were like, you don't sympathize with them. I see why you sympathize with them, because you feel it. But then again, that's not your fault, and no disrespect towards your parents. It's more their fault than it is yours, right?
100%.
Yeah, and and but what I was trying to say is like that adversity. Look, man, if I wanted want like this, if I wanted to get rich, I'm a lot better off growing up in a poor family than I am a rich family. I think so, at least.
Hmm.
There's arguments, but like when you're rich, you never really see the value in a dollar, especially if your parents handed it all to you, right?
Exactly.
You know what I
But
mean?
look at Ace, you know. I mean, Ace, he didn't grow up rich either. It
No.
happened to his dad. He was born poor and then grew up, or and then made himself rich, you know,
Yeah, yeah, a hundred
self-made like
percent,
that.
100%. He um
But
he uh like he had to fight for it all. He didn't. Nothing was handed to him.
mhm,
And that's his dad must be, I've never met him, but he must be a very very smart man for doing that, because a lot of parents with wealth will be like, okay, he's my kid, I love him, whatever, blah blah blah, here you go, here's 20 grand, go to college or whatever. It's like, do you know what that's going to do to him in the long run? Depends on the child, of course, right? Like some kids, you probably should give them the 20 grand, because they're just going to end up resenting you for the rest of your life. But thankfully, Ace is like one of the smartest guys I know, and like he sees like, okay, this is a fucking good thing, right? Like, okay, you know, I need
mhm.
this hardship. I need to fight for something in life. Cause people look, if it's on this YouTube channel, I have I've been getting a lot of hate for it because I'm honest. I'm telling people like, yo, you gotta do hard shit in life if you want to be anything. Like if you want to be something meaningful, you got to do hard shit. I'm going to call this the law of Richard, okay? The more hard shit you do, the more good shit that's going to happen to you. One
Mhm.
quote I've heard was, you do easy things, your life's going to be hard. You do hard things, your life's going to be easy. That simple. It's
That's
that
fire.
simple. You know what I mean? Is working
Yeah.
out easy? No. Is it going to help you? Yes, right? And working out is like the simplest thing you can do. I believe wholeheartedly every man, every male with testosterone on this planet should be lifting weights. And there's no reason you're not. Unless you're like paralyzed or something, right?
Yeah, fat people, no. Unless you're disabled, there's no reason anyone should be fat.
No, dude, like 100%. And like if you're fat and depressed and like a lot of them say like, I'm depressed because I'm fat. It's like, no, you're like you're so stuck in your victim mentality that you won't realize, okay, I gotta fucking slow down on the ice cream, slow down on the chips, and hold myself accountable and be like, okay, this is your fault. You know what I mean?
Mhm. That's
But
discipline, bro.
yeah, dude, and that's all it is. And it's a lot less prevalent with men nowadays due to low levels of testosterone. But like I try to tell people, like this is what I'm trying to get at. People hate me for spitting this, but it's like, dude, I want to help you. I'm trying to help people. I want everyone to realize this and be like, okay, maybe this guy's right. I'm gonna listen with an open mind and do start doing hard shit. It'll make me
Mhm.
happier. It's not even about money. This isn't even about money. Do you want to be the best version of yourself? Do you want to be happy? Start doing hard shit. I don't even care
Exactly.
about money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah,
You know Citage, right? You
yeah,
remember Citage.
yeah, yeah.
Before you met Citage, this was like back in high school, senior year. Citage used to be 200, over 200 pounds, and he was chubby.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No way.
And it
Okay.
came senior year, yeah. And my
Is he
buddy
your
Josh,
age?
you know, yeah, he is same exact,
Okay.
yeah, same grade. And my buddy Josh, he started going to the gym, and he kind of was like pushing me to go to the gym a little bit, even though I was always skinny my whole life, you know. So I wasn't like I didn't care about going to the gym too much until like I realized that I need to get bigger because I mean it's healthier to just go in the gym. You look better, you feel better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so Saitage, he started going to the gym, and he was tired of being fat. He felt like he couldn't get girls just because of that. He had no confidence because of this, and he stuck to the gym for about 6 months. He dropped down to like 160, and that was the best he ever looked in his life.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah,
It
and the
doesn't even.
confidence goes up,
I'd have
everything. Yeah,
never. I can't even imagine him being chubby. Like seeing what he looks
yeah,
like now. I'm like, what? When you said that, I was so shook. Cause he's not
yeah.
even like he doesn't even look like he used to be chubby. He looks like he's just been skinny his whole life.
Mhm.
So is he like? Does he have like a beefier lower body? Cause I only see his face, right? Like we're only on Zoom calls and stuff.
No, not really.
So
No.
he looks like a skinny guy now.
Now he's pretty much like, yeah, skinny. I yell at him now to go to the gym and gain some weight, you know? But not the fat weight, the good weight.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, Ace. Oh my god, this podcast is gonna get canceled. But I was told that you were like, yeah, no fat people in our Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's hilarious, dude. And I'm like, you know what? Listen, man. If you don't have the discipline to go to the gym, I know damn well you don't have the discipline to go do the shit that you got to do to get rich. So
Mhm.
fuck it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know. Here's the thing also, you know, like in people's journey, they might not be fat, you know, while they're getting rich and everything. But as time goes and family happens, you start to build a family, you get older, you know, and as we get older, our metabolism slows down and it's easier to gain weight. And that's where we have to be more careful, you know.
Yeah, a
But
hundred
it's best
percent.
to build the habit while we're young, you know,
Oh,
so you just
easily.
keep
And you
going.
know what? If you don't build a habit while you're young, your bones will be like weaker and it'll be a lot harder to even start when you're older. Now,
Hmm.
since we're starting now, it'll be like it's not even about the habit. It's like, okay, our bodies are way more prepared because they're in good shape, right?
Right.
My mom always told me that when I was young. I actually started working I was when I was 14, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. The day I turned 14, the closest gym, I used to try and sneak in when I was 13 and they're like, "No, you got to get the fuck out." I'm like, "Dude, just let
Hmm.
me let me lift weights." But yeah, and then
Yeah.
the day I turned 14, I started haven't stopped since.
Wow. Consistent?
Yeah. I
Bro,
like I
props to you for
actually
that
I
shit.
just enjoy it. I like lifting shit. Putting my music on for 1 hour a day and just lifting shit. All that time is to myself. I don't even think about my phone. I'm just fucking going in.
It's a different world, bro. I
It
swear to
is, dude.
God.
It's awesome. And like and that's why I'm saying every man should do it. I don't see a reason why you don't. If you don't, you start because it'll help you mental, physical health. Like there's no downsides to it. Don't even.
Mhm.
And the worst is when people tell me I don't have time. Fuck off. You have time, okay? Even I
Yeah.
feel like I'm busy, but I have time. We all have time. If you want to make something important, you'll have time for it. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's just really finding that motivation, you know?
Discipline.
But I think finding the motivation is 100 times harder than actually finding the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because
That's what I
the
believe.
problem isn't that they don't have time; they're just not motivated. But the thing
Mhm.
is, Veton, motivation will probably last 2 3 days. Like I've had plenty of my friends that are like, "Oh, I'm gonna start working out like for real." Like they're motivated, and then I don't see them at the gym in a week ever.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to be disciplined. Like, okay, how many times now that you built it and it's a habit, how often do you go to the gym and you fucking don't want to be there? Because I know that happens.
Um, Usually it's only leg day.
Yeah, but like
But
you still push through it. Like, okay, I got to do this. Whatever, I'll just
yeah,
fucking
of
do it.
course. I know I have to do it because I can't get big on my upper half and my upper half or lower half is lacking. That's not right.
Even it's beyond that, dude. Like your body produces testosterone, and like
Mhm.
producing testosterone in like first like look, man, your legs like leg day is like half of your body. So if you're not producing testosterone in one half of your body, that's gonna hinder the upper half of your body too, because testosterone's all like everywhere, right? So you gotta fucking
Yeah.
produce that shit everywhere. Even like I'm a big believer in doing forearms, doing abs, doing calves, all that shit. Get it all going. Do you train your forearms?
Yeah. I
You should.
got Ace onto that. Ace used to do it like a long time ago. He forgot about it and I brought
Yeah.
it back to him and now he does it even on leg days sometimes.
Well, dude, you should do it every day.
Yeah,
It's one
you
of those
should.
muscles you can literally just do every day. Same with abs. Every morning. First thing I do after I brush my teeth, abs and forearms. Every morning.
Mhm.
Because fuck it. I get it over with. And my forearms look good. Like, dude, forearms, those are one of those things you can wear like a short sleeve shirt and people notice it. Like the width and the veins, like it looks good. It looks more
Mhm.
masculine, right? Especially if you're wearing like jewelry. It's like, okay,
Oh yeah.
you look a lot more masculine in that manner, especially with the veins. And that goes deeper than like having a big chest that no one sees because you
Mhm.
never take your shirt off.
Mhm.
So I think everyone should do forearms, especially if you're chasing some sort of aesthetics. I'm actually
Yeah,
like,
but
dude, pardon?
Mhm. You go ahead.
I like the reason like I'm so like into the gym. I don't talk about it much with you guys because like we're not like the gym's not making me any money, but like I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm very into the whole fitness life. I love it.
Damn.
But like, dude, I don't have. I need to start making money off this for the certification. But the reason I don't is because I don't think I'm gonna learn anything that's gonna help me get rich.
True, but listen, you go to the gym. I have a buddy in the same situation. You go to the gym every day or however much you go, you know? You can have a friend or somebody else that needs to learn and they can just work out with you and you're getting paid to just do what you love, you know? Like
I
do
know,
do what you're already doing. So,
I know, but I hate working out with people.
yeah.
I only like doing it alone. I'm just
I
because
mean, I was like that too, but you just got to find the right people, you know? Like I
I
go with
know
Ace or Citation, that's it. I don't work out with
they
anybody
do they
else.
they don't touch. Do they touch their phones when they're working out?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's why I can't. Like if I'm taking more than like 1 minute rest between my sets, get the fuck out. Like if you're sitting here talking about like what happened in the NBA last night in between our sets, like no, can't do
Mhm.
that. That's just me. Like I need to get my sets going, especially because dude, like I got shit to do, and I can't be in the gym for more than like an hour and a half. Fuck
Mhm.
that. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah.
shit to do, right? So I got my sets done quick, and dude, I have a slow ass metabolism. Like like,
Oh, really?
oh dude, it's insane. So I have to do a shit ton of cardio if I want to remain in good shape. And I
Hmm.
also eat like a fucking pig, dude. Like I'm telling you right now, no one eats more than a teenage Arab young man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
about
I
Ace.
see it from Ace.
Does Ace eat a lot too?
Oh, hell yeah. Ace pushes me to eat more. I'm the opposite of you. My metabolism
Yeah, I
is
know.
lightning.
And I have a lot of friends that are like that. I assumed you were because you said you were a skinny kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Hmm.
Because we like I grew and you know what? I grew up and my mom always had food for me and as much food as I wanted. But you were the opposite, like we discussed earlier, and that could possibly. have a reason. You were just so used to sometimes going through the day hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you're just like, okay, it's like ingrained in my subconscious brain, and it's easier
Mhm.
to not eat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then once you don't eat, and then your stomach shrinks and then your body gets used to it and then that hunger goes away.
I know, cause like you're not
Like,
thinking about it. And
yeah, exactly.
I've actually heard like on some of the YouTube videos I watch and shit that fasting makes your like mind think more clearly. Is that true?
I think so.
Really?
I really do believe so. Yeah, fasting, I think that that's something that everybody needs to try.
Like once,
100%.
like one. Okay, so you do you do it with Ramadan?
Yeah,
So you, okay,
occasionally. I don't do it the whole month because it's the whole month.
yeah.
And I did blue collar work, so I was busting my ass off at least 8 hours every day.
Does
And
your
so that's
mother
really
do
why.
it? Does she's dedicated to it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, hell yeah.
okay. So and that's like what you can't eat until like as long as the sun's out or something like that.
You wake up, I think some like an hour or something like that before sunrise, and then once the sun does rise, from that time on, you can't eat anything or drink anything or smoke anything until the sunset.
Drink. Like you can't have
No
water.
water, nothing. No smoke, no cigarettes,
Yeah,
nothing.
the cigarettes, whatever, but like no water, dude. Like, okay, wait, hold up. Okay, what's the purpose of this? Like, I kind of understand the purpose of Lent. Like, that's like the Christian Catholic version of Ramadan. Like,
Hmm.
40 days you give some up, right? But what is the purpose? Like, what is the reasoning behind this?
I don't mean to diss on Lent or anything, but I think they have
Oh, I
it
don't
a
care.
little bit easier. I think they have it easier than Ramadan,
Oh,
because Ramadan, dude,
100%, dude. Dude, I could say
yeah,
I'm giving up Smarties or something, some lame shit. I don't. At least I
yeah,
can drink water. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
it's
Okay.
really to
But okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it makes you appreciate the food more, because there's people in the world that don't have like the privilege that we have, and
Oh.
that's what it does for you.
Okay.
It makes you think about the
That's
people
cool.
that don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I like that. I like that.
Hmm.
I never thought. I didn't think it was like a psychology practice. I thought there was like a religious reason. Like it is a religious reason,
There
but
is
I thought it
also
was
a
like
religious reason too.
something that happened like 1500 years ago with Muhammad or something, and that's why we're doing it. Because that's kind of why the Christians do it. It's because Jesus was in the forest for 40 days, and now you have to give something up for 40 days, or he didn't eat for 40 days or something. I don't even know if that's
Hmm.
possible, but I guess that's what he did. And then, yeah, that's why we do it. But no, I love that. That's what like I mentioned stoicism earlier. Not sure if you remember. That's something they
Hmm.
do. So what they'll do is like it's a whole philosophy, and some of these stoics practice is like, okay, for 3 days you're gonna only eat potatoes, and that like when you're done those 3 days, you're like, fuck, I appreciate pizza, I appreciate pasta, I appreciate this way more that I just had to go through that hell for 3 days. Cause you like you realize, fuck man, I took that shit for granted.
Hmm.
And we've been talking about that a lot in this podcast. Right now, like this goes back to the money doesn't buy happiness thing. I said like once you buy a Lambo every day, it gets boring. But right now we haven't you and I don't own a Lambo. So the thought of owning a Lambo was like, holy fuck. That would be
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
But like and we because we've never had one. But
Hmm.
if you have one every day, you get used to it, right? It's kind of like the same fucking
Exactly.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all psychology, man, and that's why I say it's not good to have your kid and you hand them everything.
Yeah.
The
100%. That's
benefit
what a
of
lot of
having
people do at work.
yeah, but the benefit of having rich parents, I think, is a lot of people develop the same psychology around money as their parents. So if your parents are rich, you're gonna develop the psychology of okay, make money, invest it, make it work for you, make more money, make that work for you, and then you get wealthy, and then at some point you can live comfortably enough where you don't have to work. preferably at a young
Mhm.
age. Travel the fucking world, do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I
100%.
look at
Yeah.
it. So obviously, from what you've told me, it seems like your parents had a poor psychology around money, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of confusing because my dad, when he came to America, he started his, well, he worked at a factory and then he ended up starting his own painting company. And he was making crazy amounts of money and he knew how to do it. He knew how to start a business. He wanted to hire a bunch of Mexicans. He had Mexicans, doing a lot of work. He had multiple jobs going on at once. He bought himself a Mustang. He bought his brother a Mustang. He bought a house, and then he flew his whole family that he left back home to America to live with him.
Okay.
So he did do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had a 2008 recession, and he
Oh,
was educated, and that's where he got fucked.
okay. So that's
Yeah.
I got you
And
guys.
then he fell into bad habits at the same time, and yeah, 10 years just kind of flew by like nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and so now he's just really down to earth and just wants his family to be healthy and
Again, bro.
educated.
Again.
Yeah.
Adversity. He went through all that hard shit, and then what had to happen in the end? He ended up a better person after it. Once
Hmm.
again. That's why
Yeah.
I hate when people like commit suicide. It's like, okay, first of all, I just want to say I completely understand the mindset around people that kill themselves because dude, life is fucking hard, okay? And some people are
Hmm.
fucking weak, and I'm not even dissing them because I understand. But like sometimes you're like, fuck it, man. Death has got to be easy because life is hard. That's what 50 Cent said,
Yeah.
right? So they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill myself. But like I wish they understood like you will get past this, and once you do,
Hmm.
it's you're gonna be a way better person, like a way better version of yourself, like your father.
Yeah.
Like your father, he went through that hard shit. A lot of weaker people would go through that and off themselves, cause like fuck,
Hmm.
man, I built this entire company, now it's gone to shit, and now I've developed whatever habits he developed, I'm not sure, and it's like fuck, and then they just end it. But look what happened, dude. He fucking killed it, right? Now he's a way
Yeah.
better person. I
Yeah.
wish more
He's a
people
good
realize that.
man.
Yeah, good shit, man. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's getting pretty long. If you want any final notes, we can start wrapping this up. I'm sure you have shit to do today. So
Yeah, it's actually
yeah,
Tristan. He's
if you
moving
have
to
any
Denver,
final.
so
Oh yeah, so are you going to his getaway party or whatever?
yeah, I actually am. But it's no rush. It's just a party. Like this is way
Yeah.
10 times more important. Like this getting to
Oh,
know each other and then it's
dude,
this kind of
dude,
just like talking. It's
you're
like a
close with.
therapist in a way.
Yeah, dude. No, anytime, man. Well, not anytime because I'm a pretty busy guy. But like we can, we like, dude, we can schedule a time. We get this shit going 100%. You have to speak, and also if you don't have a journal, start journaling. It's the same thing with writing because like everyone has thoughts, but how do you make those thoughts concrete? How do you make them real in the three-dimensional world? Even speaking isn't enough. Writing it down, you can look back at those thoughts and be like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Because like even what I do is video journals, and I look back at them. I'll record myself talk for a minute. What's going on in my brain? And like every single one is so different. It's ridiculous because your
Mm.
brain is always on different waves and shit. Like from one day to another, from one day. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's why Ace preaches like if you have an idea, don't tell me right now. Sit on it for 2 days, elaborate on it, write about it, make a presentation, whatever. And then it's more concrete. It's more like, okay, this is exactly what you want. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. That's so facts.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Ace is a really smart guy.
He's
100%. I'm
very,
blessed to
yeah,
have
he's
him in
very
my life.
smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, and he got that. He told me he got that from his father, which I
Mhm.
believe. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't just come with an idea, and be like, boom, right away. No,
Yeah.
you gotta elaborate on it. You gotta sleep on it for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to have Ace in my life for real. If Ace wasn't there, when my breakup happened, we would not be together right now.
You and
Or
I.
yeah, I would probably not be in the gym. I would probably not be working as hard. I don't
So
know.
what did he tell you? Like, dude, you gotta just fucking turn into a beast. Is that what he told you?
well, I was trying to get back together with her, you know, and like
Oh.
super, super heavy. And then he started asking me questions like why, like what is she doing for you, you know? And he explained it like this. He was like, Vitan, you don't know what the best relationship is because you've never had a good one, you know? Or like you don't know what a good relationship is because you never had one. You're out here chasing a sorority girl who just wants to party and get fucked all the time, you know?
Yeah,
And that's really what
and
it was. Like,
um you were just like so comfortable with it and like, okay, like I'm in love. You just thought you were in love that you were like, I can't let this go. You know what I mean? You were,
yeah.
yeah, and I can see where you're coming from.
And like a big thing, we were together for a year, like 3 months, but she's also met my parents too, and that was a big deal to me, you know, because I'm foreign, my parents are foreign, and you don't do that shit. That's a really big deal. Unless you're getting married, you don't do that shit.
Hmm.
And my parents, they accepted it, and I feel like I let them down in a way, you know?
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and that's actually surprising because if I had a girlfriend or like a girl I was talking to, I'd let her meet my parents in a week. But like I can, and my parents are foreign too. But like I can see where you're coming from with it's definitely different with your parents. It's a whole
Hmm.
different mind. It's a whole different mindset, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and really, so like if you had a girl you were talking to, would you even tell your parents?
Um, no, not right away. It would be a minute.
Wow,
And this girl, she pushed me to get her to introduce her to my parents. It
I
wasn't
can
me
see
at
that.
all.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I wanted to wait a long time, and she didn't.
So
She
what
was
would
always in a
how would your
rush.
parents react if you were like, "Hey, I've been talking to this girl for 2 weeks. You guys want to meet her?"
Um, I think that they would want to talk to me and be like, "Who is this? You know, where's she from? All this." And then I would explain to them like, "Hey, ever since my last relationship, I've grown from like 10% to like 90% of knowing exactly what I need to, you know, look for
100%,
in
dude. Yeah,
our next
you learn with
relationship."
time. 100%.
And I see it with Ace too, you know, he knows what he's doing in a relationship.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if it's from his dad or what it is, but he's got that shit down.
he's
His
a
he turned his girlfriend from like a regular state girl to like a fucking boss. She's
and
badass now
and
too.
yeah, and I think a big part of that is Ace's ability to win people to his way of thinking. I've
Yeah.
never
But it's
seen.
it's the right way. I 100%
Oh, and
agree.
dude, yeah, it's not like he's telling like making her fucking Adolf Hitler. He's making her a better version of herself. I wish
Yeah,
I
the
had that
best.
ability. Because I'm over here trying to make people better versions of themselves, but I come off as a fucking arrogant prick. Ace comes
Mhm.
off as like, oh, dude, this guy's trying to help me. You know, he's an awesome guy, and he does it way better than most people. And it's an amazing skill. It really is.
Yeah. See, with you and me, Richard, I think that if you were telling me like how to better myself, I would listen to you. Or if I was telling you, you would listen to me. But then when we start talking to those weaker and softer people, that's when they see us as the arrogant prick. And Ace, he knows how to connect with
I
those
know.
people. I
I
don't think
know.
we do.
That's what I'm saying. It's unfucking
Yeah.
believable. That like one percenters, if I'm talking to one percenters, they love me. They're like, oh dude, yeah, 100%. Like if but like you like if I sit here and told you like hardship, blah blah blah, you like it. But like most people they're like, fuck off, man. If you unless you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
give me an easy way to this shit, I don't wanna hear it. And Ace, I
Exactly.
don't know what the fuck he does. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he does it and he does it very well. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah,
It's the way that he was raised, I think.
probably is. It probably is. It definitely played a big role. He constantly mentions it, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to see. Yeah. So if what time do you have to go to this party?
Um, 8:30 right now, but I don't know. It really doesn't matter. I told Ace that I'd probably be done with the podcast at 8, but then again, it's a party and he completely understands and he would rather have me be doing this than partying over there. So,
That's fucking
you know,
awesome. I love it,
yeah,
dude. Okay, yeah. Well, if like, I got shit to do. I got work tomorrow.
of
If you
course,
want,
me too. Yeah, I gotta
yeah.
go see these guys too.
Okay, so if you want, have any final words you want to wrap it up? I'm ready. This is my longest podcast. It's actually longer than I thought it'd be.
I mean, to be honest, I was completely fine with doing a 3 hour one day, just because
Oh,
that's how
dude,
Joe
yeah, we can.
Rogan does it too. You know,
I
it's
know, yeah,
badass.
I know it is. But like, dude, he's oh fuck, man. I need to study Rogan more. Be like, dude, how the fuck does this guy do this?
hmm
He doesn't like me. I need to talk, and it's a bad flaw about me. But I need to talk. Rogan can say like 5 words and get his guest talking for like 6 hours. It's fucked. He also has
Yeah.
like very. He picks his guests really well. I think like people that can talk forever.
hmm
I don't know. I think I'd be a good guest on his podcast.
Listen, I told you a lot, but I never really went too much into depth. Like I would even say I went like 30% depth in like a lot of things that we even brought up today. And that's where the 3 hours come in, you know, it does take time, and I'm willing to do that because I think it's motivational, inspirational, all that type of shit. You know,
Okay.
I got a lot of stories to tell you, you know,
Okay, yeah,
and
we'll definitely get another one going. So Veton,
yeah, for
Lulanaj.
sure.
I want to do one with
I love
Cypress
this
too.
though.
I
Yeah.
definitely yeah. I want to do one with him too, and Tristan, man. I think I can get a good one with Tristan and Ace. I still like I told you I need to get multiple interviews going before I do one with Ace, because that
hmm
one could be really good. But yeah, if once again, you have anything you want to say before I end it off?
Richard, bro, fuck everybody else who's telling you don't do these podcasts. Seriously,
No one's
you're
telling me. I don't give a fuck if anyone says that shit, dude.
Bro, you're
But
I
thank
love
you. I
this. I
appreciate
love that you're doing this shit and that you want to do it and you're recording it, taking it seriously. It's so fire.
it. Yeah,
I
awesome.
know that our next podcast together, it's gonna be 10 times better and we can go more to depth with each other and whatever, you
Okay,
know?
awesome,
But
bro.
yeah,
I
study Joe
appreciate the
Rogan,
love.
study some guys, yeah.
I appreciate the love. We can do like a 3-way, 4-way one. It's fire.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
love to do that too.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, boys, it's been real. It's our Rsaba podcast number 3. Keep it real. Love you guys. Peace. You have a great day. And